What do you think about old people making jokes about them being old?
I think that's funny.
But like, is it weird?
Yeah.
They'll make like jokes.
Like what kind of jokes?
They'll be like, "You're so young. You got so many years ahead of you. I don't." Ha ha ha. And then it'll be like,
Oh.
like, is it like, are they joking about death? Like, is that weird? Are they just joking about themselves being old?
I think it's good that they can acknowledge that they're old and not be like offended when people tell them that they're old.
But also,
and that they've like thought about the fact that they're gonna die someday.
but also, I feel like they make way more jokes about young people being young. They're just like when you like hang out with old people who like aren't particularly nice. Like 100% what you'll get if you're under the age of 25 is them being like, "Kiddo, buddy," but like also way more specifically being like, "You're so young, you haven't experienced anything."
Oh, right.
And then you're like, "Well, 20 years is something. That's like a third of your life." And they were like, and also like everyone who's old, like being like, everyone who's young is dumb. But like, even to the extent where it's like, they don't just say like everyone under the age of 18 is dumb, and that's why they like can't drink or vote.
Right.
But they also say like everyone under the age of 30 is just a total idiot. It's like, that's still a bunch of people. Like they have the right to vote. Like they can do a lot of things for themselves. Like they can have pretty much a full life. They're like, when I was under 30, I was an idiot. And I'm like, that's not really conclusive proof. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm the smartest guy ever, but there are some people who are under 30 who aren't dumb.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think it's right for them to do something like that.
But I'm also like, is that an epiphany I'm gonna have? Like when you turn 60, you just like get that epiphany where it's like all young people are just idiots. All of them.
Hopefully not.
It's like, what makes them think that? Like, what did they do when they were under 30 that was like really, 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 really dumb?
Or what happened when they turned 30 that caused them to see the world differently?
I don't know, man. What happened? That person is changing entire. Look at them. They're doing great. You seen those new ads for Napa?
No.
Where it's like, just like that, exactly like those things. Where there'll be this person who's never changed a tire before, and they'll be like, "Hi, my name's so and so, and I've never changed a tire," or there's one that patched a tire, so they're like, "I've never patched a tire," and they're like, "But today I'm gonna do it, and I'm just gonna follow the instructions that Napa gives me." I have like this Napa product, and they're like, have these instructions, and they try and follow them, and it's like, there's no way they would have ever figured. No one really ever figures those things out. Where it's like, pull the item out of the hole, clean the hole, shove the patch thing in the hole, twist, and then pull it out of the hole, clip the extra off, you're done. And then it's like, what if the hole is like big? Do I just buy like 5? And then just like shove all of them in? Like they don't say that this is like really specifically for if you get just a nail in your tire. Like one nail.
But of course the tire that they give the person who's never changed a tire before or never patched a tire before is one that is just a nail.
Do you want to know a secret? When you pop your first tire, it's either gonna be on nothing, like you will have no idea why your tire is leaking and you can't find the hole, all you know is that it's just no go. Or it's gonna be on like a field of glass and it's gonna be like, my tire has died of 1,000 punctures. So you know what? You ain't patching either of those. You're just getting a new tire. Just give up. That's what they should say. When you come in Napa Auto Parts, it should be like, we can help you with about 5 problems. If it's any of the other ones, give up.
Canadian Tires down the road, bud.
Yeah, go there and tell them about your stupid problems. I drove over. I was driving out on the lake, like it was frozen lake. I was driving out on the lake, and I hit a duck. And I popped my tire. What do I do? And he's like, well, what popped it? Was it a nail? No, it was a duck. What do I do? Did you try patching it with one of our patch kits? There's a duck in it. He was like, how do I start? Can you talk me through it? He was like, can you remove the duck? And it's like, sorry, Chief, that's a no-go. That's a no green light on removing the duck. It's like, how about we just sell you a new tire? Well, that would work, except for, I tried taking the tire off and there's too much duck in it. I guess you could bring it in and we could try to take the tire off. I can't exactly get it there. There's duck in it. Like a whole duck. Could you have it towed here? Well, can't exactly call a tow truck. You see, the duck ate my phone. That was why I ran over it, trying to get the phone back. Because like I stopped and I was like sitting on the tailgate, like having a few cold ones with the boys, and then all of a sudden I dropped my phone and there's this duck, and the duck eats my phone, and I'm like, how'd the duck swallow my whole phone? And one of the boys is like, hey, just run over it, phone will pop out. Phone didn't pop out, so I can't really call a tow truck. Well then, how are you calling us? I'm using Buddy's phone, you know Buddy, but he needs it back now, because he needs to call Uber to get home. He's just gonna leave his truck on the pond. Hopefully it won't thaw, you know, before he comes back and picks it up. So yeah, how's the weather where you're at? I'm inside, sir. I can't see outside. We don't have any windows because this place is one giant cage that we never get let out of. That sounds good. Sounds good, you know. It's legit. Yeah, I'm gonna go have a few more cold ones and then catch an Uber home. So if you could just send out one of your technicians to Lil Pond. It's out at the end of Route 14. Just hang a right on the, is it the 322nd gravel road? 323rd. It's at 323rd gravel road. You just hang a right, and then when you're like 8 minutes down the road, you hang a slight left at the fork, and then there's like a glen, like like just like a meadow, just like put it in high 4x4, and then just like drive across the glen, and then down like the slight slope. You're gonna have to drive over some blackberries. Don't worry about it. Didn't pop my tires, probably won't pop yours. Just follow the tire tracks through the blackberry thicket and down to the pond. And then on the far side of the pond, there'll be 5 trucks. Mine's the third red one from the right. The third red one from the right. Don't change the tires on any of the other ones, because they may be filled with illegal substances, and the guys will not be happy if you take those. So yeah, just the tire with the duck in it. Just swap it out with a new tire and a new rim, and you guys can keep the one with the duck in it. Maybe like hang it up on the wall or something, like a trophy. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I'll be back to pick it up on Tuesday. Thanks. Bye. I'm sorry, sir. We don't do remote repairs. Also, it sounds like this is a situation where you might want to call animal control. get this whole duck situation dealt with first before we come and fix this. But you hang up about 30 seconds ago, so I'm just gonna pretend this never happened. Thanks, bye. There you go. That's pretty much my experience with Canadian Tire and their auto department. So, hitchhikers. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I don't think that it should be illegal to pick them up. As long as there's like a decent shoulder on the road so you're not endangering other drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that in general people in Canada are a bit too scared of strangers and picking up hitchhikers.
Because I know people who've hitchhiked. I know people who've hitchhiked like all across the place. Like thousands of miles. Do you know what? I've even been a little bit tempted at times. I've been like, hey guys, free gas. Just hitchhike it. Just stick your thumb out. You know, of course it's extremely dangerous. And your chances of getting shanked are very high. But you know what? Chances of getting shanked in prison are also high, and plenty of people do that.
I don't think your chances of getting shanked are very high.
Well, your chances of getting murdered are higher.
Higher than if you're driving in a vehicle by yourself or with a friend, yeah.
Well, also higher if you're the person who is hitchhiking.
I think it's reasonable to take precautions like don't hitchhike alone and don't pick up hitchhikers alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's anything like I wouldn't feel a moral obligation to not pick up a hitchhiker because I thought it would be a danger to myself.
I also, I feel like you're not really morally obligated either way. Like when I see a hitchhiker, I don't feel morally obligated to pick them up. I mean, it does tug at the heartstrings a little bit, but I don't feel morally obligated to pick them up, and I also don't feel morally obligated to not, because I think it's kind of a dumb law. It's like, it's against the law to give someone a ride. Like, where do you draw the line? If they don't stick their thumb out and you just pull over and ask them if they want a ride, are they hitchhiking or are they not? Like, what if your friend breaks down on the side of the road
And then he calls you?
But when you show up, he's sticking his thumb out. Is he hitchhiking?
Or
Or
what if he calls you, but when he calls you, you're already driving to where he is just coincidentally?
Oh, careful. You might be breaking a law. Just seems like kind of dumb. Like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're just driving from one side of town to the other. But there's someone hitchhiking on the side of the road. But this isn't a highway. Is it illegal? You see your friend in town, and you're like, hey dude, I'm going for a shopping trip to Nanaimo. You want to come? And you drive him all the way to Nanaimo. Was that a hitchhiker? Like, was that illegal? What just happened? You gotta be careful. It's a thin, gray, stupid line. That's what we're gonna call it from now on. The thin, gray, stupid line of whether or not someone's hitchhiking. Like, God.
Yeah, I think that our care for other people should trump any irrational fear for our own safety, if the fear is irrational, which I think it mostly is.
Mostly. I mean, you can also kind of tell, like, when you're driving past someone, like, the kind of people that I would be more likely to pick up will be like, if there's more than one person, it's usually a good sign. Like, I know that, like, theoretically it's like, if you pick up like 3 people and there's 3 of them and there's 1 of you, you're outnumbered. But I think that, like, if they're like likely to hurt you, there's almost always only one of them.
Like there's a higher chance.
Axe murderers don't come in pairs.
Yeah.
Basically. Like
there's a higher chance if there's 3 of them that at least one of them is sane.
Yes.
And if one of them is sane, then they wouldn't be hanging out with people that that are insane.
Exactly, especially if it's like a couple. And like I find that like I would be more willing to pick up people if they were backpackers, because like even though backpackers are weird, like at least it's like they've chosen to do this and they're a tiny bit prepared. Like they're a little bit sane, at least. Like they've got a backpack with some things in it. They're not just someone who like lost their job. Like they're not someone who just like lost their job and like their best friend died and they're going insane and they're on drugs and they're in the middle of the desert. Like at least it's not like the worst. At least it's just like they're probably on a little bit of drugs, but do you know what? They're down to party. Like at least they're like half. I don't know. It seems less sketchy if there's people who like have some stuff with them. If it's just like a person in the middle of the highway with like nothing anywhere for like 100 kilometers and they have nothing, you're like, well, this is weird. Something's like, it's weird. It's just weird. It's weird.
Like, did someone drive you out here and drop you off against your will?
Yeah, like, did you get kidnapped? Like, what's happening? Yeah. You know how they put those little letters at the end of cars to make them seem cool?
No.
Like, hey, this is the Honda Civic XL 5937 SE.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, that must be really special. The other day, I was like in a car dealership and I saw this like flyer that they had of like all their best deals, like stuff that was left over from last year, like slightly old models but still new. And I was looking at this one specific model, like the different types of that car that they had, and I couldn't find one that was just the car. Like they had like the LE, the SE, the EX, the EI. They had like all these different versions of it, and some of them were like cost more than others, but there was no base model. Like they had just given up on the idea of a car that was just normal, and they're like, all of our cars are special. They're all unique in their own way. And we don't want you to know which one sucks, so we can sell it to you and you think you got a good deal.
I can still look at the prices and figure out which one's cheapest.
Yeah, like you can look at the features and be like, that one bad. Have you heard about those new burgers at McDonald's?
No.
It's like their chicken burger, except for they took it and they were like, we're going to put spicy sauce on it. We're going to have 3 different kinds of spicy sauce.
Oh, I might have heard of that.
And we're going to call them 3 different burgers, but we're just going to change the sauce.
Right.
I don't know if they're trying to artificially inflate how many different things they have on their menu, or if they just think that people care that much about a spicy burger. But I mean, in my opinion, like, is spice just spice? Like, is there like different kinds of spice? Because there's like the jalapeno, the habanero, and then like the ghost pepper.
I probably wouldn't be able to tell a difference in the flavor, but there must be some kind of a difference in the flavor.
Well, this level of spice. It's like jalapeno is the lowest one, then habanero, then ghost pepper is the most spicy. But I'm like, why don't you just put more of the sauce on?
Right, yeah, and I think the difference is that jalapenos are supposed to have a flavor outside of the spiciness that's different than habaneros.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the difference is.
I just don't know if people care that much about their spicy burgers, you know? Like, I feel like you could just create, like, the habanero. Well, no. I would just go with jalapeno and the ghost pepper. Because I don't think that many people are going to buy the habanero. Like, people might buy all 3 just to taste all 3. But I feel like people either want maximum spice or spice and flavor.
Yeah.
Like, if you go in with the boys and all the boys order ghost pepper burgers, there's no way you're getting away with ordering a habanero. Like,
yeah,
You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why they have 3 levels, is just so that people can brag that they reached the top level.
Yeah, dude, I got the spiciest McDonald's burger ever! Can you handle it? Can you handle the spice? I can't handle the burger, dude. Those things are terrible. So much grease. You know, it's still from McDonald's, right? Yeah. I think they're just trying to get in on like some sort of spicy burger market that some analysis was like, look, only 12% of the spicy burger market has been tapped. We need to get in on that. We need to tap that. We need to get in on that burger market. And then some executive somewhere was like, yes. And they just made it a thing. I don't know if it's a very big market. I feel like if I want a spicy burger, that might be one of the things that you just kind of like make at home. Throw it on the Barbie. And just buy like 3 pounds of jalapenos. Just like, if you're looking for that much spice, just like eat like 40 jalapenos. That'll give you some spice. It'll also fill you up. This little ghost pepper thing, it's like you're gonna be puking for an hour because it's so spicy, and then you're just gonna be hungry. Like, come on. Weak. You know, I watched this video on YouTube. You know how you get into those deep YouTube rabbit holes?
Yeah.
This wasn't even one of those. I was in like a shallow puddle. Like a shallow YouTube puddle. It wasn't even that deep. I'd only watched like 2 videos. But I saw this video where it was like a cop saying what the most annoying parts of being a cop was.
Right.
So I was like, that sounds a little bit interesting, you know? Like, I think I might be able to guess a couple of them, but I don't know what all of them are. And I can't remember what all of them are. But one of them was something I didn't expect, and I was like, oh yeah, that would be incredibly annoying. Which is that, like, apparently, and this cop was from the States, so take it with a grain of salt or whatever, I don't know if this is true. But what he said was, when you pulled someone over at, like, for a traffic stop, like when a cop has pulled someone over for speeding or whatever, apparently people will like come up beside them and stop in the road, in the lane, trying to talk to the cop about something that someone else did that bothered them. Like either trying to report a crime or like ask the cop a question. Like this person is stopped in the road, fully in the road.
Yeah.
And is like standing, and has their window rolled down, and is like trying to talk to this cop and be like, hey, is it illegal for me to have like a machete in public? Just like yelling out the window at this cop while this cop is trying to give someone a ticket and they're in the road. And it's like, wow, that would be incredibly annoying if someone did that. It's like, what does the cop do? Like start screaming, get out of the road, or like go, or like shut up? Like,
I would think that it might be possible for the cop to like walk in front of the stopped vehicle, write down the license plate number, and then go back to writing the other person a ticket, and then write the person who stopped a ticket for stopping in the middle of traffic for no good reason.
well, I mean, I think that they could do that. I think that's an option. But I also feel like most cops don't really want to do that. They just kind of like want to make the person not.
Right, but
I feel like that's kind of like
that make the person not next time?
Yeah, true. But like, I feel like cops aren't like just trying to be mean. I feel like they don't want to be mean. They just like don't want people to do dumb stuff. So it's like, next time you see a cop pulled over at a traffic stop, don't try and ask them the question. Like, if you have a question, you can actually go into a police station, and it's super weird and kind of creepy because there's cops everywhere. But it's actually kind of cool. You can go in and ask questions, and they'll look at you like you're a little bit dumb because you're going in and asking questions that they probably get asked a lot, but you'll get answers.
I mean, I don't know if it's legal to have a machete in public.
I'm pretty sure that, well, it's a little bit confusing because you're not allowed to have a knife with a blade of more than 6 inches in length, I believe. Or is it more than 4 inches?
In a public place?
Well, you're not allowed to brandish a large knife and or sword in public, like wearing it on your hip.
Okay.
But also, you're not allowed to concealed carry a knife. So I think what you have to do is like have it in a properly marked bag. basically
So
you
you
need to
can
buy
carry-
a duffel.
You can carry
And
it
then-
around.
You need to buy a duffel, like a black inconspicuous duffel,
Right.
and then a white piece of and then a white roll of duct tape. Put a white piece of tape all along the bag, mark every side, and just write machetes on it.
And then you can carry as many machetes
And then you
as
can carry
want.
as many machetes as you want in public, because it's a properly marked bag, and a
Right.
cop can look at you and immediately know that you are carrying machetes. But when children look at you who can't read, they aren't scared to death.
Oh. That's not part of the law, is it?
Well, theoretically, that's like the idea behind the law, is that like the reason you're not allowed to walk around brandishing a machete is because you make yourself look like a terrorist and you're scary. Basically, it's like have to make sure that like other civilians don't attack you because they think that you're like a terrorist or something.
That's the main concern, not that a terrorist would actually carry a machete.
But no, I mean a terrorist isn't going to obey the law anyway.
Yeah.
Terrorists
okay.
can be like,
Yeah, I guess.
machete! Like, I don't know. I think that those are the two reasons behind the law, from what so that's what you gotta do. Or like, I think that's like the same rule for guns, right?
That you can carry them around as long as they're in a marked bag in public.
Well, like, you're not supposed to brandish a gun in public. Like, you're not supposed to be waving a rifle around.
Right.
But at the same time, you're not supposed to like stuff a rifle down your pants. You're not supposed to conceal carry a rifle either. You're supposed to put it in a proper rifle case
Okay.
and carry that.
Do you know if you're gonna be able to carry it around loaded?
No, you're not. Well, I mean, like, to be able to have a gun, like to have a gun license, you have to take a bunch of courses, right?
Right.
So I'm pretty sure, like, if you were carrying it around loaded, you'd be like going against like everything you learned in those courses.
Yeah, of course you would. Yeah.
So I think they would just take away your gun license.
Okay.
I don't think they would actually arrest you. They might also take away your gun, because if you don't have a gun license, you're not allowed to have a gun.